High School Game Night brought to you by JD's Pazzo Pizza in Ephrata.
Welcome back to the High School Game Night Halftime Report. We're joined now by PennLive.com's Jeff Reinhart. Hey, Jeff, it's week 10.
Unbelievable. Where did the regular season go?
I know, and we're doing something a little different tonight. Jeff is going to select his Coach of the Year and Player of the Year for each of the LL League's 3 sections. We'll start in Section 1. Let's talk players.
Let's talk players. Nice list here. The winner is Eric Benjamin, Manheim Township quarterback, senior. Great year for Mr. Benjamin, piloting the Blue Streaks, spread attack, 24 touchdown passes coming in here to week 10, just 2 interceptions. He has not thrown a pick since week 2, which is amazing. Should go over 2,000 passing yards here in week 10. Manheim Township will have in a week 11 game. They'll go to districts and play. Great career for Eric at Manheim Township. They've won in the race this year down to the end, gave Wilson a bit of a run. Wilson ended up scoring 48 that night, but Benjamin has been great. 24 touchdowns, just 2 picks. Great season for Eric Benjamin.
All right, now let's talk coaches. Section 1 coaches. Who are we talking here?
Again, some really good candidates here, but we're going to go to West Lawn. Definitely Doug Doms. Oh, but Jeff, Doug Doms can win it every year. Yeah, he probably could, and he has a lot. Another great year for Wilson, up to going for 57 wins in a row here this week against Warwick. Clinched at least a tie for their 8th section championship in a row. Amazing. 2 must-have games this year. They go to Hempfield, beat them 15-9. They go to Manheim Township and beat them 48-27. Looks like no worse than a number 2 seed in districts for Wilson, which is out to defend its district title as well. Another good season for the Dogs.
All right, now let's head over to Section 2 now. Here's a stat for you. The Solanco Golden Mules have rushed for over 3,000 yards this season. Is that reflected in your picks? Let's talk player here.
Could be. Mr. McCardle's have a really nice season here playing quarterback for Solanco, but the pick here is going to be Colin Shank from LS. Don't forget, last spring, this kid had brain surgery to remove a tumor on the side of his head. Came back this year, said, okay, you can play, you're clear. What a season for Bear Shank. Coming up on 2,000 passing yards, over 20 touchdown passes. Twice this season, he's had 5 touchdown passes in a game. He's also had some yards on some keepers, taken hits, popped back up. He's played linebacker, made some big plays there too. Amazing story, Bear Shank coming back from brain surgery. Wow, incredible.
And who is going to be your Section 2 coach?
Well, let's go back to Solanco, Mr. Cox at Solanco. Amazing ride for the Golden Mules. Wow, 9-0 coming in here for the Manheim Central game in week 10. They've been amazing. As you mentioned, 3,000 rushing yards, lead the league in total offense, total defense, rushing yards, rushing defense, scoring differential, just a ton of categories. And they have a chance to run the table here in Section 2, which people don't do too much these days. Should get a great seed for AAA and districts as well. Great story at Solanco. Congrats to those guys. We'll see if they can run the table here in week 10.
And finally, in Section 3, Northern Lebanon has had a great run, but Elko has been on quite the run the last couple of weeks as well. Who wins your award here? Let's start with player.
Okay. Wow. 3 great kids. Martin's had a good year passing the ball, but got to go Isaac Wengert. He's been amazing for Northern Lebanon. In the 3 games, the must-have games that you got to have, Elko rushed for 207 and 5 touchdowns. Anvil Cleona, 222 rush, 226 pass, 7 total touchdowns. And last week against Donegal, pass for 150 and a touchdown, rush for 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns and a comeback win. Wengert's been great running their speed option.
And who's your coach?
We got to stick with Northern Lebanon. Roy Wall. Of course, they've had a deal here with the forfeits. They had to give back 2 wins, week 1 and week 2. Played with an ineligible player. It happens. Had to give the wins back. 15-game winning streak was snapped because of that. Kept his team focused. They came back, ran the table. They can clinch the Section 3 title outright for the 2nd year in a row here in week 10 if they can beat Columbia. Wengert's been great. Luke Funk's been great. Their offensive line has been great. Coach Wall's really kept them together when it could have gotten bad with the forfeit stuff. Looks like they're going to go back-to-back.
All right, well, thanks so much for stopping by, Jeff. We'll see you next week for a playoff edition.
Can't wait. Thanks.
And remember, you can check out all of Jeff's work over at PennLive.com for all the latest on high school athletes throughout the LL League and beyond. And don't forget, we will be right back here next Friday night with more live high school football on BRC 11. The Manheim Central Barons will likely be hosting a playoff game, but we'll be following them wherever they end up, playing in the first round of districts and whoever their opponent might be. So remember to tune in next Friday at 7 p.m. That'll do it for the halftime report. Thanks for watching. We'll send you right back out to Rossmere Stadium for the second half action between the Cocalico Eagles and the Lancaster Catholic Crusaders. Enjoy.